Wide receiver 3, all up in this beat. If you've been following the podcast for such a long time, like way back in the day, I used to be the backup tight end whisperer. So it was Chase Ford, Michael Pruitt. I was just in, like AC Leonard, sure. But now I think I moved on to the wide receiver 3 position. Like, that's my spot. That's the guy I'm always hyping up, except for Chad Beebe, because we know that he was a sham. Anyways, wide receiver 3, super up in the air. And even though we love Olabisi Johnson, he's a guy BC Brigade represent, as well as Tajay Sharp. Alexander Hollins is a UDFA from last season who really impressed last year, and I think could actually make some noise and maybe be the dark horse in this backup wide receiver race as we head into 2020. So let's talk about him today. Eastern Illinois Panther. Alexander Hollins, 6'1", $170, played his high school ball at Yazoo County High School down in Mississippi. Played 2 years at Copria Lincoln Community College, which is over in western Mississippi, which is actually part of the same community college association as East Mississippi Community College of Last Chance U fame, and as of rookie safety Brian Cole, the second's alma mater. Maybe they actually even played each other. If only I was actually like good and could have looked that up through the game logs, but yeah, whatever. Transferred to Eastern Illinois 2017. God, I'm good today. As a senior in 2018, he put up 79 catches, 1,090 yards, and 16 touchdowns, including 9 catches, $127, and 3 touchdowns the opening week versus SEC participant Arkansas Razorbacks. Ooh, pig. Shared the same battlefield as Armon Watts. Get some. Also, that was the only FBS team on the roster for the Panthers that season. Was first team All Ohio Valley Conference. FCS All-American, was just really, really phenomenal as an FCS wide receiver. But no combine invite, no bowl, no postseason bowl invites. Did rock out a couple pro days though. Put up some pretty stanky numbers. 4.48 40, 128-inch broad jump that's over 10 feet. Math, 6.893 cone. Also, he put up a 4.18 short shuttle, which is amazing, as well as a 37-inch vert. Would have ranked in the top 10 or nearly in the top 10 for all wide receivers at the combine. He would have blown the roof off the doors, or whatever Jordan says, right? But ended up going undrafted. A small school player. Big numbers, small frame, nice, impressive metrics, but whatever. So the Vikings were actually really fortunate to bring him in, because remember, the Vikings went hard late in the draft, as well as UDFAs for wide receivers. So they picked up BC and Dylan Mitchell at Oregon in the 7th round, and also they brought in Alexander Hollins as well as Davion Davis, our guy, who also I think could be in the punt return derby out of Sam Houston State. But last year, in training camp and in preseason, really overshadowed by BC. Like, he really was the story of the beginning of the Viking season. But Holland showed well training camp, preseason, 3 catches for 26 yards on 4 targets on 47 total snaps in the preseason. Didn't make the 53, but was put on the practice squad. Eventually was called up to the roster before the Week 13 game at Seattle, as Adam Thielen was working back through some various injuries, and then played in every single remaining game, except for the Niners divisional round loss, but 85 total snaps, 12 of them on special teams, 73 on offense. Of those, 65 were out wide, and only 8 of them were in the slot. I did have 2 catchers for 46 yards in the Bears, Week 17 exhibition game. Those were his only reception stats for the season. But if you watch him, and if you go back and look at his preseason stuff, like a very solid route runner, quick, get separation, extremely solid hands, and also he fights on the outside. Like he's not going to be a pushover. Like, it's not going to be a Jeff Badette out there, but he will get feisty out there. That's why I think the Vikings are comfortable with him, despite him not being the biggest wide receiver in the world, fighting on the outside. It really is a la akin to Stephon Diggs, right? I think he just needs the reps. And now the Vikings, since they do have such a power vacuum going on, even though they do have Justin Jefferson, even though they do have Tajay Sharp as a free agent, even though they do have BC Johnson, year 2 of the BC era, that's right. There are a lot of snaps to be had, even though the Vikings are a run-first team. But, And I know it is a disservice to comp a young player to firmly established star players, but I'm going to do it anyway. Like, he does really remind me a lot of Stephon Diggs when he was a rookie 5th-round pick in 2015 coming out of Maryland, or even like early career Antonio Brown. Because remember, Antonio Brown was 6th-round pick out of Central Michigan. Like, he really had to work his way up in Pittsburgh before he became a star receiver and before he became just a diva, just the whatever. Because remember, in the 2010 Super Bowl against the stupid Packers, Antonio Brown was like wide receiver 6. Like, their lead receivers were like Antoine Randall L. and Mike Wallace. It's something redonkulous like that. Like Jericho Cotchery might have been on that team. Yeah. So I think that could be the career trajectory. I tried to combine the words. Career trajectory of Alexander Hollins, because now he's on the back end of the roster. Maybe he plays a little bit of special teams. Maybe he comes in as a wide receiver 4 or 5, and he builds from there. Like, he's a clean, mature route runner, and that is the name of the game in today's NFL. Getting that separation, being able to get off the line of scrimmage, being able to get off press. It doesn't matter how big you are. Like, you can be 6'6", 230 pounds, and if you can't get separation, we got nothing for you in today's NFL, right? Also, he's confident on the outside. He's not scared to make a contested catch, and I love this kid. I really do. I like him. I think there's a chance that he could be the real dark horse in this wide receiver race. And honestly, it wouldn't shock me if he ends up being statistically the wide receiver 3, wide receiver 4 by the end of the season, pending what happens with Tajay and BC. So we'll see. Alexander Hollins. Do not sleep on this young man. There you go. Alexander Hollins, pride of Eastern Illinois. What are your thoughts on him? Let us know in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. You want to support the work? Pull some on the Venmo. Plus give us a follow on social media as well. But until next time, Skol, production value.